Hi, it's Mike with AskTractorMike.com. This is Kenny. We used to work together at the dealership that we're recording at right now, S&H Farm Supply, and Kenny's the Executive Vice President of Sales for, how many stores you got now? Six stores. Six-store dealership, and they handle a lot of different brands and a lot of different product lines. And we're talking to Kenny today about inventory of stuff. And in the last video, we talked about tractor inventory. And today I want to dig a little deeper into what other inventories after the COVID market disruption happened, what other inventories may be a little bit out of line. So if you're shopping, you kind of know what to expect and what kind of negotiation leverage that you might have. So Kenny, I'll just throw it out to you. What do you have way too much of? And we're talking lawn and garden, attachments for tractors, parts, off-road type of stuff, side-by-sides. What is the inventory situation with all of the stuff you handle, and where is it a great time to be a buyer and where maybe it's not a great time to be a buyer?
Well, we always think it's a great time to be a buyer.
Of course.
Yeah. So, you know, we always had the philosophy that it was hard to sell out of an empty basket, and our basket is certainly overflowing today. There's inventory everywhere you look. And so you think, well, inventory management, why can't you get your hands around that and have it the way you should? Well, there are a lot of reasons why. In normal times, let's just say normal times, pre-COVID, inventory management on the whole goods side takes some time. You know, the lawn and garden is probably the shortest term. You probably are ordering 90 to 120 days before you want that inventory to show up at a minimum. Sometimes 6 months, but sometimes 90 days. So really what are the factors? They are competitive pressures and the weather. And so perfect storm in 2022 and 2023, we had a lot of income, a lot of demand, but the weather wasn't very good. And some inventory started to accumulate. Plus lead times got long. So instead of being 6 months out on order, sometimes you were 9 months or 12 months out. So you're placing orders anticipating what you thought the market was going to be like. Some of those orders on the lawn and garden side got heavy, and we're dealing with that inventory. We're selling some aged inventory at nice prices today. When you look at the UTV, ATV off-road industry, this is one where I ask myself, is technology gone a little awry? You know, we hear a lot about generative AI today and predictive analysis. And so the power sports industry, a lot of the manufacturers have gone to an auto replenishment program. And those were very frustrating during 2019, 2020, 2021, because you had to sell a unit to generate an order. And if your inventory was exhausted, you didn't have inventory to sell, you couldn't retail the unit to create a new order, and you couldn't create new orders on top, or they were scheduled way out in the future. Now, all those orders have arrived, and we would like to close that pipeline a wee bit or throttle it down, control it. But every time we are aggressive in marketing and we sell a unit, another unit shows up. And the difference is that in 2020, 2021, that time between when you sold the unit and the new one showed up might be 180 days. And today it's maybe 3.
Wow.
So it's happening. I mean, it's just really a functionality of, we get the manufacturing ball rolling and we're cranking that stuff out. And just a little bit of decrease in demand really starts to stack them up. And I think if you drive the country today, you sure see that in the ATV UTV market.
And if I'm understanding what you're saying right, back in COVID, when we had high demand and little supply, if you were aggressive and you found a way to beg, borrow, or steal inventory from another dealer that had it, and you moved it, then that built up your base.
Correct.
And now all the base is coming in, so
that's right.
Kind of the guys that were aggressive and did whatever they could to get inventory and built their business are now being penalized with drowning in inventory.
Yes. Yep, that inventory you are desperate for, you now desperately want to sell.
Yeah. So are there programs out there, you mentioned lawn and garden and you mentioned utility vehicles, side-by-sides type stuff. Are there programs in place to help move those?
There are. I would say that manufacturers have been faithful to be reasonable partners, and they've tried to recognize and then have recognized that inventory is onerous for dealerships. You know, it's a cash drain. You got to maintain it. You got to set it up. You got to keep it going. You got to market it, and so they've helped, and they've put programs in place to help move that inventory and make it a pretty good environment for a buyer.
What about attachments, stuff that goes in back of a tractor to do a job? How's inventory on that stuff?
It's good. Those lead times are really short. Whatever the amount of time it takes, the logistics to get it to you, it's sitting in inventory at manufacturers. So we kind of saw this trend coming in the first quarter of 2023 and started to adjust our inventory order strategies. And for the most part, we feel like we're in line. It's the manufacturers have the auto replenishment programs are really where our issues are today.
So what you're saying is if you want it, you're going to get it. So there's some manufacturers that got to be sitting on inventories if the turnaround time depends on the logistics.
They do. We're starting to get those calls from short line manufacturers to say, hey, would you like a deal on another one or two of these? You know, you may have ordered 6, but we got a couple here that could use a home, and there'll be some type of a carrot to help generate an order there.
You know, no manufacturer likes to close down their factory because you lose the people and you have trouble getting them back when you start going again. But have they tried to throttle down that production?
Some have. You know, I don't have a broad, in-depth knowledge of particular plants, but I think there have been some reduction in staff at a lot of manufacturers. It's like a big seagoing vessel. It's hard to slow down and stop once you get that momentum going.
Yeah.
You got purchased inventories, you got supplies, you got costs you got to cover too. So they're trying to make those adjustments, but it's tough.
So if you're a customer right now and you're looking for any of the stuff we've talked about, it's a good time to buy, and a guy might catch a bargain somewhere or another. Is there any other inventory in the dealership world that's a problem, or one way or another?
I would just say it this way. I don't know of a category today of an item that's hard to get as far as the whole good. You know, you may have particular issues getting a particular part, if you need a part for service of an older piece. But as far as a new whole good, most everything that I work with is readily available. Last
question. If I'm a dealer and I'm our age, and I'm older than you are by quite a bit, but if I'm nearing the end of my career and I've got a store and I've got a lot of inventory, and there's not too many dealers like this anymore, but if your local dealer is that dealer, I can close the doors or sell to somebody else, and then all that inventory by state law gets bought back by the manufacturers. Are we going to see a few dealers go out and merge and that type of thing with too much inventory in certain segments?
Yeah, I can't name any particular dealers in my immediate area, but I know from talking to manufacturers there's some of that happening. That dealers have decided maybe they were close to retirement age anyway. This is just not a stress they want to go through.
And they probably make good money during the COVID period.
Made good money. Got some savings and don't want to see that savings all eroded by interest cost.
What about manufacturers? Are we going to see a little bit of mergers and things like that going on?
I think you have to. I mean, I think it's been good. Manufacturers are just like customers. Some of them are in better shape to take on adversity than others, and inevitably, in our market system, that's what creates the ebb and flow of the market. So there'll be some manufacturers that don't exist 3 years from now, without a doubt.
Wow.
Some of them may surprise you.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I appreciate you watching my videos. I'd be honored if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can do that by clicking the mic face icon, and check that bell so you're notified when I post future videos. Here's a link to my website and the Tractor Fun Store with cool items for sale for the tractor owner that helps support my YouTube channel. And here's another couple of videos you might want to watch. Thanks for watching.